Hello and welcome back to Infinite Roleplay, Dungeon a Day, Chimera One Zeta Project, Episode 6, this January 11th of 2016. You can see me going back here and trying to fiddle around with the layout, simply because in the last episode when I was finished with the layout, it was one entire solid piece. Now going back in my head, I'm thinking I'd like to add and remove certain things as I change the levels, because these rings, these sections, these toruses do have multiple levels. So what I'm doing now is just sorting everything out, organizing and making sure I can be able to turn on and off specific features, so I can add a little bit of variety, a little bit more variety and control to my levels. That was me trying to write, but everything is processing so slowly that it's wrong. Now what I'm doing here is I'm bringing in the Endeavor as well as my fighter class ships and small shuttles to measure everything, because this is actually going to be the top level of the top torus, which consists of various landing pads. What I'm doing here, basically, I altered my thing a bit. I did some math to figure out how big to do the bulkheads on the outside to make sure, you know, they could withstand like attack or the pressures of a space. Crap, that's what I did. I did math for crap. After doing that, I select the rings independently so I can do the same thicknesses in specific areas, because this is the hangar bay section. I want certain areas to be able to work independently, as in they can close off, have all the air evacuated so that the ships can land or take off as needed. You can see it's taking forever to save. Now mind you, this is a 2-hour video, compressed down to like 5-6 minutes, and look how long it's taken to save. This is a huge file for a huge project, and yeah, it's ooh child. You'll see. So what I'm going to do now is take the elevators I made in my the very center core, the command center, and center that in the center ring, so that elevator shafts, of course, have to just go in a straight line. This is not Star Trek, where elevators go up, down, left, right, spinning. I don't know what's up with Star Trek, but there you go. It's the next generation. This is not the next generation. This is something else, I guess. I'm adding in walls, and what you're going to see me do eventually is that I'm noticing that the grid, my Photoshop grid, and the grid of my station don't exactly line up, so I'm altering it slightly so that it lines up, just, it's right on point. And I have this remnant, I don't know how that got there, but I'm just cleaning it up. I'm bringing in the silhouette, so I have point of reference to the station as a whole. Now here what I'm doing is I'm adding a nice large bulkhead area, and I'm going to be mirroring it on both sides and creating some walls to act as airlocks. I'm going to be turning the area from that sphere into a storage area soon. I'm doing it right now, playing around with wall placements for this storage facility. This is if ships of the Endeavor class, which I believe is about cruiser size, land in that landing pad, they can directly offload their goods into that storage area. Again, I'm trying to save, and it's taking forever. This is one of the major stumbling blocks in this project is the fact that it takes so much processing power that saving and transforming are huge. Like they take quite a bit. Now remember, all this you're watching is a 2-hour video, compressed, severely compressed, and still it takes that long to save. Now, what I'm doing now is I have the idea of this being one of the major entry points into Chimera One Zeta. They're going to have a civilian section this will be the start of the civilian section, and these tiny, tiny little rooms are going to be berths for like a coffin motel. You know, the kind of motel you just pull the beds out of the wall and it takes up most of the room, and it's strictly utilitarian. Right now, I'm doing a very small cantina area. I'm going to add a stage, backstage area, and whatnot. I'm just creating smaller lines. I'm having trouble because the processing power is hiccuping. So that's what that's about. Now I'm adding in more rooms here with the idea of these being more, I guess, communal staterooms, communal berths, I guess. Very similar to the coffin motels, except that there's, 4 to 5 beds that you pull down. This that I'm doing right now is going to be like a small little clinic. What you see me doing now will be scrapped, and I'm going to be adding in more rooms for the coffin motel, and then leaving a communal restroom / shower area towards the top. Not satisfied in how I'm laying it out. I'm fiddling and changing. And I settle for that. And again, I'm going to my saving process, and it's taking quite a long time. This is pretty much all that I have done for the 2 hours that I've dedicated for today's episode of Dungeon a Day Chimera One Zeta, because this project is absolutely enormous.